Hello everybody, is the audibility fine? Am I audible to each and every one of you? Please check this if the audibility is absolutely fine. Am I audible to each and every one of you? Great. Right, absolutely. So I guess the audibility is absolutely fine, right? I think I'm audible to each and every one of you. It is absolutely fine. Great. So I can see that the audibility is fine on RBS channel. Let's move on to the other channel and let's see if the audibility is fine on the other channel as well. Great. So I think the audibility is absolutely fine on both the channels. And I think we should start the session. Shall we? Shall we start the session, everybody? Great, absolutely. Good morning. So I think I'm audible to each and every one of you, and I think we should start today's session. Great. Good morning. Good morning. Great, absolutely. So I'm audible to each and every one of you. In today's class, we'll be discussing, this will be the 6th session of number system, means quant and graphs. As I promised earlier, these sessions are especially dedicated to all the GATE 2021 aspirants, and as I promised, I'll be taking these sessions on 9 days and 2 sessions, at least 2 sessions per day. So 9 into 2, that is 18 sessions. So we're going to have 18 sessions. During these 18 sessions pan out for on 9 days, and the duration would be somewhere around 30 to 36 hours. Other than this, I have already been taking some of the special classes as well. Like I have taken a special class on vocabulary, the best of permutation combination, and a few more topics. So I do believe and I hope that each one of you have gone through all the videos. As I am saying that this is the 6th session of quant and graphs. So if any aspirant who has got no idea of what GATE aptitude is, if any student watches all these videos and make proper notes, will able to get a very good marks in GATE aptitude 2021, right? So first of all, this particular video this video was actually scheduled to come at 7, but because of some reason this could not able to, but actually it got live a few minutes back. You can watch this video on FT Express. When in doubt, take a risk. This video is also available on FT Express channel, and immediately after our class at 11 AM, you can see a very short video on geometry. I have covered a very small point, but it's a very crucial, very beautiful point. Yesterday, I made a small video on sequence and series, and the kind of response I've received, like I went through the comments, and most of the students said they actually got benefited with a small video, and that is why I thought we should continue this. You can once again see this video on FT Express. You can go to this channel and you can see this video at 11 AM today, right? This will be the 3rd video. And after that, today late evening at 10 PM, we're going to meet once again with verbal reasoning. In yesterday's class, I actually discussed more of reasoning. In today's class, I will be discussing more of sentence completion, synonyms, antonyms, and CR, right? So in today's sessions, we'll be discussing sentence completion, that is fill in the blanks, synonyms, antonyms, and match the following, these kind of questions. So today's session will once again be very, very important. So this particular session will be today in the evening. Even before starting today's session, please confirm me how many of you have watched all the videos. Like this will be the 6th session, so 5 videos of quant and graphs and 5 of verbal and reasoning. Let me know this in the comment box. How many of you actually went through all the videos, all the quant and graph videos? That is 5, and 5 verbal and reasoning videos. All in all, 10 videos. How many of you actually went through all the sessions? Great. And I am considering that all the students who have actually went through all the videos, they are also making proper notes, right? Very nice. So even if you don't have any idea of what GATE aptitude is, these sessions will really going to give you a very good helicopter view of what the topic is, and you can, if you revise it properly, you can get a very good score in GATE Aptitude, right? Even before starting the session, this is about me. Is that, yeah, this is about me. I have been teaching for the past 10 years, and in the upcoming session, like in the month of February, I will not only be bringing classes on YouTube, but other than that, I will going to have classes on Unacademy app as well. So meanwhile, what you can do, you can install the Unacademy app. I have divided the classes into two parts. One is absolutely free and the other one is paid courses. Paid courses are like Plus and Iconic. In the free session, I will be bringing free classes as well and free courses as well. Very short courses. 6 hours courses which pans out for 3 days, or 4-hour courses for 2 days, 8-hour courses, like that. So what is the difference in the video which is freely available on YouTube and Unacademy platform? There's a major difference, and that is the noise. On an Unacademy app, it will be more filtered, so more dedicated aspirants can come to the app and straight away watch the video, because on the platform there will be more genuine aspirants, so there will be lesser noise, so you can be more focused. Concerning to the paid courses, there are two different things available: Unacademy Plus and Iconic. In case of Plus subscription, live classes, it will be bilingual, weekly test, doubt clearing things, all these things will be there. I personally prefer Iconic because of a mentorship, one-to-one mentorship. As I promised you earlier as well, I will be bringing these courses, the free and the paid courses, on Unacademy app in the month of February itself. So do make sure that you install this app so that you can avail the exam benefit. The best part of Unacademy app is, for example, if you have bought the paid subscription for Plus or Iconic, whatever that is, the best part is it's like a buffet for this duration. For example, for the 12 months, 18 months or 24, whichever you have subscribed for, you can actually watch any teacher's video. That is the best part. To avail the maximum benefit, what you can do, you can use the code ST26. ST is Saurabh Thakur, 26 is my date of birth. Similarly for Iconic subscription as well. For Iconic subscription, once again, to avail the maximum benefit, what you can do, you can use the code ST26. In that way, you can get the maximum benefit. On Unacademy app, you can follow me at Saurabh123 Thakur 251681. In this way, you can actually come to know whatever free classes, free courses and paid classes and courses I am coming up with, right? So this is 1681. You can see to this. Whatever we have been discussing and whatever we are and will discuss, the notes will be available on FT Express channel as well as Saurabh Sir official Telegram channel, right? So these are the places where the notes will be available. So that is it. I think we should start today's session. Shall we? Shall we start the session? Is everybody right? So I think, great. So I think everybody is ready. So because everybody is ready, I think we should start the session. Great. Well done. I am a very avid reader of Stoicism, and I prefer to read teachings of Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Seneca, and not just this, Taoism and Confucius, Aristotle, like their teachings as well. So one of the statement Marcus Aurelius said was this: the most important thing in human life, listen to this, the most important thing in human life is to decipher things and to understand what are the things which are within my control and what are the things which are beyond my control. To decipher things and to understand what are the things which are within my control and which are the things which are beyond my control. Any which ways, things which are beyond your control, if you try to control those things, that creates anxiety. You can sing or sulk. You can sing or sulk in the rain, but any which ways it will rain. So whatever things which are within your control, try to control your action, and things which are beyond your control, try to control your response. Because every single time when you try and control something which is beyond your control, it gives you anxiety, it gives you inquisitiveness. Even before starting the class, I want you people to write in the comment box. Even before starting today's session, I want you people to write in the comment box: wonder is the road to wisdom. Wonder is the road to wisdom. it might be possible the age in which you guys are in, at times you feel lost, but it is absolutely fine. There's no problem with that. You can keep on wondering. When you keep on wondering and when this inquisitiveness is there, this is the road to wisdom. It's absolutely fine. I think we should start today's session. As I told you in the telegram as well, today's session is very important. We'll be discussing percentage, and right from the basic we'll be discussing percentage. So do make sure whatever we discuss, don't miss anything, right? Let's start today's session then. Shall we start? Is everybody ready? Wonder is the road to wisdom. Absolutely. Shall we start? Is everybody ready? Let me start with very, very basic of percentage. Let us suppose there is a person A. Okay. There is a person A. It has been told that A's income is 70% of B's income. Okay. It has been told that A's income is 70% of B's income. I'm starting from right from scratch, right? So that you can understand every single piece of information. A's income is 70% of B's income. Okay. B's income is 50% of C's income. Okay. B's income is 50% of C's income. And if it has been told that C's income is rupees 1 lakh, and if it has been told that C's income is rupees 1 lakh, I want you people to find A and B's income. What is A's income and what is B's income? I have started this session from very, very basic. I want you people to understand every single point. Like C's income is 1 lakh rupees, and if it has been told that B's income is 50% of C's income and A's income is 70% of B's income, tell me in the comment box, what do you think, what is B's income and A's income? Great. Absolutely. Right. Very basic, straightforward point. If C's income is 1 lakh and if B's income is 50% of that, it means it is rupees 50,000. It is rupees 50,000. If B's income is 50,000 and if A's income is 70% of that, it means it is rupees 35,000. That is it. Right? Absolutely. Very, very basic, very subtle. There's no problem whatsoever. Right? In these 90 minutes to 1.5 hours, you'll get a very good idea of the percentage. I have started things right from scratch. You won't believe, many a times in different competitive exam, they ask questions like this. For example, if I draw a pie chart, this pie chart tells us that, let us suppose your father gives you rupees 10,000 per month, right? And this is how you spend your 10,000 rupees. 20% on room rent wherever your college is or wherever your office is. So 25% on room rent. Remaining 25%, the other 25% on food. Okay. Then 20%. Then 20% on fuel. And then the 30% on miscellaneous. And the 30% on miscellaneous. Great. So here we can clearly see that this pie chart is telling us the bifurcation of 10,000 rupees. That is 25%, that is 2,500 rupees on rent, 2,500 rupees on food, 2,000 rupees on fuel, and 3,000 rupees on miscellaneous expenditures. This pie chart can be represented in the form of percentage, or the very same pie chart we can draw in terms of degree as well. That is, if we want to draw the very same thing, whatever we have done over here, that is 25%, this can be drawn as 90 degree. I'm sorry. This can be done as 90 degree on rent. Once again, 90 degree for what? For food. Sir, how are you doing this? Because we know that 100% is equals to 360 degree. That is why. Oh, so 10% would be 36 degree and 26% would be 72 degree. Something like this. So 72 degree on fuel and 30 degree on miscellaneous. All in all, the learning was 100% is equals to 360 degree. Very basic point, right? 100% is equals to 360 degree. Yes, it means 10% is equals to 36 degree. Sir, but why are you telling this is such a basic point? I know this is such a basic point, although this is such a basic point and you won't believe. Is it visible if I write it over here? Yes, it is. We know that 10% is equals to 36 degree. I want you people to find the value of what? 30% is what degree and 40% is what degree. I want you people to find these two values. 30% is what degree and 40% is what degree. Go ahead, make it fine. Please find the answer. 30% is equals to what degree and 40% is what degree? Absolutely. Yes, great. Absolutely perfect. Go ahead, make it fast, guys, make it fast. These points are very, very easy. Right. So 10% is 36 degrees, so 30% is into 3. So if you multiply this by 3, you will get the answer. And what is this? 108 degree. If you multiply it by 4, you will get the answer, and you won't believe this question was asked in GATE 2017. They have just asked 40% is equals to what degree? That is it. This question was asked in GATE 2017. This particular question. This was asked in GATE 2017. Is it fine, everybody? So they've asked what is the meaning of 40% in the year 2014. 1 mark question, that's it. Is it clear to each and every one of you? Is it fine, guys? Is it fine? Is it clear to each and every one of you? Great. Right. Fine. Absolutely. Right? Let's move on. There's one more thing, and that is, I also prefer, like, for example, this kind of pattern. For example, if voting took place, so in a city, the population, let us suppose the total population is X. And out of this, we are talking about voting, right? In a city, the population is X and the local election is about to take place. 90% of the audience, 90% of the total voters, they are in the voting age. 10% of the audience, they are less than voting age. And then out of these 90% audience, only 80% voted. Listen to this, very, very important. Only 80% voted. Okay. So these guys voted and these guys didn't. So we are not concerned about those people who didn't vote. And those people who actually voted, out of these people, the 70% votes were valid. So valid and invalid votes. How many votes were valid? 0.7. I'm just telling you how to write it, right? Just see this, and there's not a question. I'm just letting you know how to write it. We'll be using this. 70% of these votes were valid. So what vote was not? What percent of the votes were not valid? 30%, of course. So 30% of what? Of 0.8 of 0.9 was not valid. And then out of these valid votes, the person who won the election, there were two people, P and Q, and this guy P, this guy won the election. How this guy won the election? It has been found that the person P has got 60% of the total votes. So 60% of these votes. 60%, it means 0.6 into 0.7 into 0.8 into 0.9x. We can always take 100 and solve this, but I'm just letting you know how to actually solve this. Instead of writing horizontally, we can approach vertically like this. So if this person P actually got 60% of the votes, and on the contrary, this person Q got just 40% of the vote. This guy got only the 40% of the vote. Let us suppose when this guy P won the election, just for an example, this guy got 200 more votes. I've just taken a number as an example, right? Let us suppose the example is this. So what we can understand from this, in a city the population was X, okay? In a city the population was X. Out of these X people, 90% of the people were in the voting age, 10% of the people were not in the voting age. Out of these 90% of the people, only 80% voted, okay, fine. So 80% guys voted. Out of these 80% votes, 70% were valid votes, and the person who won the election got 60% votes. And it has been found that the difference between these two votes, that is 20% of this, is equals to 200. And then it has been asked, what is the total population of the city? Forget about this. I have just taken it as an example. But why I have taken this example? Because instead of writing horizontally, what I am saying is you can approach vertically like this. And that's a very good idea. Sir, can we take an example of this? Yes. So I'll be taking example of this vertical approach, right? I'll be taking example of this vertical approach piece by piece. Sir, is it important in our exam? Yes, of course it is important. Of course it is important. Let's start from the very, very basic. Let us suppose we are talking about a classroom. There is a classroom. There is a classroom, right? And this is not my question. This question which actually came in one of the paper, SSC paper actually. And we have been told that 3/4 of the students in a class, whatever the number of students is, let us suppose we have taken X. And then there are those people who have car. 3/4 of the students have car. Okay. And then there are people who don't have car. So what is that we are left with? 1/4 of the students. Let us suppose the total number of students in a class is equals to X. Right? Listen to this very, very carefully. And then we'll connect it to the question which actually came in your exam. First, let's understand how to write this. Total number of students in a class X. Then out of these X students, 3/4X, 3/4 of the students have car and 1/4 of the students, they don't have a car. Out of this, those students who have car, out of these students who have car, it has been found that 50% of them have Mercedes. Okay, that's interesting. 50% of them have Mercedes. And other than this, the rest of the people, they don't have Mercedes. So 50%, what is the meaning of 50%? It means 50% is basically half of what? 3/4x. It means 50% they don't have any Mercedes. This question came in one of the exam, and then you know what they asked? The total number of students who have car and that too Mercedes upon total number of students. What is the percentage of this? What is the percentage? Sir, what does it mean? The meaning of the statement is this is what they want to find. The ratio of this thing upon this. That's it. That is 3/2 into 3/4x upon x into 100%. That is 3/8. And what is 3/8? 3/8 is 37.50%. 3/8 is 37.50%. Is it clear to each and every one of you? Is it fine, everybody? Is it clear to each and every one of you? Nice. Is it fine, everybody? And coming to this percentage part, always remember these percentages are important. Sir, what does that mean? There are some percentages which are very important in competitive exams. Like what? I want you people to make a note of this. These 4-5 percentages, they are very important in all the competitive exams. What these percentages are? 3/7 into 100, 3/8. 3/7 is also important, but this is not that important. 3/8. And the last, what I've written? 3/8, yeah. 5/8. 7/8. These are some very important percentages. If you can remember them, this is really good. 5/6 into 100, this much percentage. So 3/8, I want you people to remember these 4 percentages precisely. So what is this? What is the value of this? 3/8 is 37.50%. Because your exam is within a week, that is why. Otherwise I could have told you some tricks so that you can remember this, but right now just remember this, right? 5/8 is 62.50, and you have Kelsey as well, but if you remember this will be really good. 7/8, I'm sorry, I've written 100. 7/8, yeah, 7/8 is 87.50, and what is that? 5/6, 83.33%. So these are some of the percentages. I want you people to write these percentages. These are some very important percentages. Is it clear to each and every one of you? Is it fine, everybody? Is it clear to each and every one of you? Right? Is it fine? Here I have used something. Here I have written this thing, right? And after this I have written this. Let me give you an example which actually came in one of the exam, right from this point. And what is that? Very basic point was asked. They have just asked this thing. What is the value of? They've asked this. What is the value of? First, what is the value of what? What is the value of 20% of 30%? This is the first question they have asked. And then 20% of 30% of 40%. Go ahead. Take 30 seconds and mark the answer. Don't take more than that. Take 30 seconds and mark the answers. 30 seconds, guys. Make it fast. 30 seconds and mark the answer. Make it fast. 20% of 30% and then 20% of 30% of 40%. Make it fast. Make it fast. Great, well done. And in percentage, in terms of percentage, I want the answer. In terms of percentage, I want the answer. These kind of questions you can also expect in GRE as well, right? These kind of questions are also there in GRE as well. Go ahead, make it fast. Well done. Nice. 60%, Pavan. Do you really think the first one is 60%? Let's see. 20%, what is the meaning of this? 0.2. What is 30%? 0.3. So 0.2 into 0.3, if you multiply them, 0.06. To find the answer in percentage, you have to multiply it by 100. Very basic point, but just let me be very clear with this so that each and every one of you can understand. So how much this pans out to be? 6%. What is 20%? 20% is 0.2. What is 30%? 0.3. What is 40%? 0.4. 4 into 3 is 12. 12 into 2 is 24. So this is 0.024. If you want to find the answer in percentage, you have to multiply it by 100, and thus the answer is 2.4%. In your exam where the aptitude is not that tough, even if these kind of questions are asked, you know what kind of options you're going to get? According to me, the kind of options, for example, if I would have given this particular question to GATE aspirant. So the first option I would have given was this, 0.24, I'm sorry. Yeah, 0.24 percentage. Second option, 0.0024 percentage. Third, 2.4 percentage. 2.4 percentage. Fourth, 24 percentage. These kind of options. These kind of options you will find in exams like SSC, Railway, Air Force, and international exams like GRE. These kind of questions are very, very common in these exams. Is it clear to each and every one of you? Is it fine, everybody? Is it clear to each and every one of you? Sir, like, has IIT asked like these kind of questions? Yes, they have asked. In the year 2016, ISC Bangalore has asked this question. What was the question? 2016, IISc Bangalore has asked the similar kind of question. What was the question they have asked? This. X% of Y plus Y% of X is equals to. This is what they have asked. And the four options, I'm not changing these options. I'm giving you exactly the very same option what these guys have given. 2% of XY. This was the first option. 2% of XY upon 100. This is another good option. Third option, XY percentage of 100. This was the third option. Fourth option, 100% of XY. I want people to mark the answer. Go ahead. What do you think? Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Very basic point, but make sure you mark the correct answer. Yeah. Right? Great. Well done. Absolutely perfect, right? Nice. So I think each and every one of you have understood this, right? So X% of 100, when you use the word percentage, it automatically means X upon 100 and this is Y upon 100. Basically, you have written the very same thing twice. So it's totally up to you how you want to write. 2 upon 100 XY, that is 2% of XY, or 2Y, like you can also write it like this, X by 100 into 2Y, that is X% of 2Y, and similarly Y% of 2X. So all these three answers would have been equally correct. This, and this. All these three answers would have been equally correct, right? If given a chance, if I would have given this question, I would have given all these three options, and the fourth options that I would have given was all the above. But right now in this case, A is absolutely correct. Is it clear to each and every one of you? Is it fine, everybody? Is it fine? What we've discussed, let's take a very similar question. There is a fruit basket. Once again, this question I've already discussed. These kind of questions I have already discussed in the past, not in your class, but in the past. And the similar question was given by ISC Bangalore in the year 2016. This is not the question which ISC Bangalore has given. This is my question. Now see this. This is a fruit basket. Okay. So we have got a fruit basket. In this fruit basket, there are precisely two different kind of fruits. What are the two kinds of fruits? First one is mango and the other one is apple. First is mango and the other one is apple. And the other one is apple. Let us suppose the total number of fruits is equals to X. It has been given that 60% of the total fruits, 60% of the total, it means 0.6X. It has been given that 60% of the total fruits is mango, so 0.6x. In that case, if the total fruits are X and 0.6x mangoes, then what should be the amount of apple? What should be the amount of apple? Absolutely. Right? So the amount of apple would be 0.4x. After that, furthermore, it has been told that out of all these fruits, 0.6x mangoes are there, and out of this, There are two different varieties of mango, green mangoes and red mangoes. And similarly here in this case, there is green apple and a red apple. Green apple and red apple. It has been told that 75%, first of all, the 25% of apple are green. If we have been told that 25% of apples are green, 25, it means 0.25 of what? Of 0.4x. 25% of the apples are green, and thus 75% of the apple are red. And similarly, we have also been told that 80% of mangoes are red. If 80% of mangoes are red, 80% of what? 0.6x. Then it means 20% of mangoes are what? These are green. Is it clear to each and every one of you? The fruit basket has two fruits, mango and apple. Let us suppose total number of fruits were x. Total number of fruits were x. Okay. So total number of fruits were x. Mangoes 0.6x, apple 0.4x. It has been told that total number of mangoes 60% and total number of apples 40%. I'm just letting you know guys, like how to write these kind of questions, right? Out of these 60% of the mangoes, 80% are red, therefore 20% green. Out of all these apple, 25% is green, so rest of them is red. I want people to find this. What is the ratio of green mangoes out of total green fruits? I want you people to find the percentage of this. What is the meaning of total green fruits? When you say total green fruits, it means mango green plus apple green. Go ahead, find the answer. What is the percentage of mango green upon total green fruits? What is the percentage of this? Mango green, here it is, and mango green and apple green. Mango green and this is apple green. What do you think? What is the percentage? Absolutely. Great. Nice. Make it fast, guys. Make it fast. Absolutely. Nice. Well done. So what is the answer? Nice. Well done. Absolutely. Right? Sir, can we solve this question even without taking x? Yeah, you can take 100 as well. That is not a problem. If you want, you can take the very same thing 100. Sir, then why are you telling x? Just because so that 100 at times makes things easier, but x so that you can have a generic idea how to approach this question. If for example, if I take 100, then total number of mangoes would be 60, total number of apples would be 40. Out of this 20%, so 20% in that case this would be 12 and the remaining 48 would be mango red. Out of this 25%, it means 10 would be green and 30 would be red. It means in this case, if you want to find the percentage, the answer would have been mango green. What is that? Mango green? 12. So this would be, I think this won't be visible. Let me write it over here. 12. Is it visible? Yes, it is visible. So 12 plus 10, that is 22 into 100 percentage. That would be 6 by 11. 1 by 11 is 9.09%. Into 6 is 54.54%. Is it clear to each and every one of you? The answer would be 54.54%. Yes. If you want, you can solve it taking x, and if you want, you can solve it like this as well. Is it clear to each and every one of you? Make it fast, guys. Make it fast. Make it fast, guys. Right. We have a definite span of time. We need to make it fast. This is very basic level of elementary level of calculation. I want you guys to do it fast. Is it clear to each and every one of you? For the very same question, I want you people to find this. Do remember the very similar question came in the year 2016. The paper was given by ISC Bangalore, right? I want you people to find this. Apple red upon total red. It means apple red plus mango red. Go ahead. Take 30 seconds and find the percentage. Apple red upon total red. That is apple red and mango red. Yeah, Garima, absolutely correct. The entire YouTube knows that is your answer is correct, right? 54.54%. I saw that. That's fine. Go ahead. Make it fast, guys. Quick, quick, quick. Make it fast. Don't take more than 30 seconds. Make it fast, guys. Apple red upon apple red plus mango red. What is the percentage? I want the percentage. I think we should rub this. Apple red and mango red. What is apple red? This is 30. This is 30 upon 30 plus what? Mango red. Where it is? Mango red. What is the value? 48. This was the value, right? Yeah, 48. Absolutely. So that is 30 upon 78. So what is the percentage? 38.46. Yes. Is it clear, buddy? Apple red is this 30 upon 30 plus 48. That is 78, 38.46%. Absolutely. Is it clear to each and every one of you? Is it clear to each and every one of you? Shall I consider this is absolutely clear? Is it clear to each and every one of you? Right. Now do remember that the very similar question was asked in the year 2016, the paper which was given by ISC Bangalore. So when I'll send the PDF of this, that PDF will have that question which was given by ISC Bangalore, right? The only difference was in that particular question it was given apple and oranges, and that there was ripe and unripe fruits, right? So shall I consider this pattern is absolutely clear to each and every one of you, right? Great. So I'm not touching that question. I think you are good enough to solve that now, right? So that is the thing. One more point, a very basic point, just a small note actually, it's not a point even. Yeah, just like tell me this, if we are told that the ratio of milk and water, you are making a solution, the ratio of milk and water, if we have been told that the ratio of milk and water is 2:3, can I write it like this? Then the quantity of amount of milk is equals to 2K and the amount of water is equals to 3K. Can I write it like this? Right? I can definitely write it like this. Just to quantify this, we can write like this, right? And similarly, milk upon milk plus water into 100%, that is 2K upon 2K plus 3K. Sir, what is this? Just a minute. 2K upon 2K plus 3K, that is 2 by 5. So this is 40%. What this 40% signifies? Listen to this very, very carefully. I have told you that there is a solution which has got milk and water. The ratio between milk and water is 2:3. I think there are two things which I actually talked about. Can I write it like this? Yes, I can quantify it like this, absolutely. And second thing I said, if I'm writing it like this and I've got 40%, what is the meaning of this? It means that this is a 40% concentrated solution of milk. Is it clear to each and every one of you? This is 40% concentrated solution of milk. It means if we have been directly provided with this statement, we have been told that there is a milk and water solution, and it is a 40% concentrated solution. This is what it means. In one line, if it has been mentioned that there is a milk and water solution, is it fine, everybody? Is it clear to all? If it has been told that there is a milk and water solution and it is a 40% concentrated solution of milk, what is the meaning of this? It means this. I want you people to write this, although it seems very basic, very elementary, but I still want you people to document this. Always remember, the devil is in the details, right? So devil is in the details. So do make sure that you write every single piece of information, right? Great. Shall I consider that you have already written this? Then I'll take an example from this. Is it fine, everybody? Is it clear to each and every one of you? Is it clear to each and every one of you? Is it fine, everybody? Great. So I'm considering that we have understood this, right? And we have written this. Don't miss even a single information, whatever I'm saying. Fine? Right. One of my favorite author, I have always told you, like one of my favorite author is Jim Rohn. Personally, my favorite self-help books and authors are Mr. Jim Rohn, Stephen Covey. Undoubtedly, these two are my favorite. And third is Brian Tracy. Other than them, Napoleon Hill, I love reading his books. Zig Ziglar, Tony Robbins, because he was student of Jim Rohn and he has got similar character, like similar feature like Mr. Jim Rohn. Nobody can be Jim Rohn, but still. So Mr. Jim Rohn, Stephen Covey, Brian Tracy, Tony Robbins, Les Brown. Les Brown is also outstanding speaker, unbelievable speaker. So Mr. Jim Rohn said this statement. Listen to this. He said two statements. Life is a combination of what to and how to. Life is a combination of what to and how to, and we should give equal importance to both. But the very first thing is what. What is that you're looking for? What is the most important word? Most of us, we are looking for something that unfortunately we ourselves don't know. And that is why I said, don't just be busy. The barrenness of busy, being busy just for the sake of being busy is not good. We need to be productive. That is the most important thing. Life is a combination of what to and how to. So first thing first, that is, what is that exactly I'm looking for? And the second thing, how can I get it? How can I achieve it? Instead of thinking whether am I good enough or not. We are human beings. We behave as mortals in all that we desire, and we behave as immortals in all our fears. So forget about all those fears. Let's decide that I'll surpass my fear. Let's decide right here, right now. It is my life and nobody will going to come and save me. If I really want my vision, my mission, my goal, my aspirations to be my reality, it is my responsibility to make it happen. And that is, in real terms, self-realization and self-actualization is. Else and otherwise, most of us, we live in a fairy tale world which says that someday something good will happen. Mark my words, nothing will happen. Things will change when you change. Things will get better when you will get better. Else and otherwise, life will go on like this. Don't wish it was easier. Think you were better. It is not lesser problems that can bring happiness into your life. It is attainment of more skills that will surely do. This world is all about skills. Do you have the skill or not? Sir, for example, if I don't have the skill, we need two things. We need two things. First, you need to have the hunger to acquire those skills. You need to have the hunger. And after that, you need to have the resilience, because when you go on the voyage to acquire those skills, most of the times you will be knocked out. But in the boxing ring, the one who wins the match is the one who's ready to die. Marcus Aurelius once said, instead of thinking about your whole life, can we think like this? One day is one life. Whoa, what an amazing philosophy. Because when you think one day is one life, there are two things going to happen. First, you will start treating time as commodity. That is, I have this definite span of time left with me for this life. Second, whatever power I hold, wherever I am, I cannot change my yesterday. I cannot change my past. The only thing I can do with my past? I can learn from my past. So can we do this? I can learn from my past, the mistakes I have made. I can live in my present. I can aspire to become something incredible in my future, and that is, in real terms, living is. Knowledge says how much aware are you. Wisdom tells you the extent of unawareness you possess. We should not be this oblivious to live in our naive bubble and to think that I am incompetent or I am just too good. Both these cases will bring extreme negativity to your life. Instead of this, there is only one thing that is important. I want you people to write it in the comment box. It is the fight that is important. It is the fight that builds your character. I want you people to write it in the comment box. It is the fight. It is a fight that is important. Forget about the result. And that is called law of causality, told by Aristotle. In our darkest of times, we see the light. Aristotle said this. Adversity make you face yourself, the real you. The fight is important. This fight is important, right? Let's start. Let's continue then. Shall we? Yes, it is a fight that is important. Indeed. Indeed, it has always been. It has always been like that. It is not the result. The result is absolutely secondary. In the real world, the result is secondary. It is the resilience. It is the audacity to not to give up. That is the brazenness to stand in front of defeat and still ready for the challenge. That kind of audacity is required in the real world. Either you have the courage to become something incredible, to follow your vision, to follow your mission, to become outstanding in life, or compromise with your dreams. As simple as this. There's no midway. Nobody will going to come to rescue you. And if you really want your dreams to become your reality, you need to fight for it. You have to fight for your dreams. Every single bloody person in this world is desiring. But there are very few people who are deserving this. Life is about being deserving, not desiring. Most of us, we are desiring. We want a better life. We want a better tomorrow. We want a better ourselves. But do we really work on it? That is the important thing. There are very few people who work on it, and that is why there are very few people who are deserving. We need to become deserving. The day you become deserving, things will get attracted towards you. You'll automatically become a magnet. Let's continue this, shall we? Shall we continue? Great, right? Absolutely. You know what? A very, very interesting question was given a few years back in one of the competitive exams. And for that, actually, I just needed this percentage. Right? This is what was given. There's a lady called Meera. I have copied even the name what was given in the exam. The name that was given was Meera. Very nice question, very beautiful question. That these kind of questions, the level of these kind of questions these similar kind of level can come in your exam as well. Listen to this. In today's class and tomorrow's class, I'll be covering percentage. So I'll be covering most of the part of the percentage, right? So make sure that you don't miss even today's session and tomorrow's session. Those people who unfortunately logged in late, make sure that you watch the video right from the beginning, right? So what was given? Meera, in case of Meera, her expenditure, okay, the ratio of her expenditure and saving is 3:2. This is the first thing that was given in this question. Listen to this. So the ratio of expenditure and saving is given 3:2. Even before reading the very next statement, the first thing that should strike, the ratio of expenditure, Meera's expenditure and saving ratio is 3:2. It automatically means that her expenditure is equals to 3K and her savings is equals to 2K. Is it fine, everybody? Is it clear to all? Is it clear to all? So Mira's expenditure and savings are in the ratio 3:2. This automatically means Mira's expenditure is 3K and her saving is 2K. Great. Then in the very same question, it has been told that her income is increased by 10%. Now, if even before writing this line that her income increased by 10%, I'll come back to this. But even before starting this, I want to tell you very basic of economics. I won't be discussing economics, neither micro nor macro. I won't be discussing that, don't worry. But we need to understand what is the meaning of the word income. See, there is something called income. When you use this word income in economics, when you use the word income, it means the money you have earned in quotidian routines, in daily mundane affairs of life, in daily routine, we say active income. The money you earn by working at some place. That is the money you earn where you are working actively. And then there is something called as money you receive. Received, it means you have deposited some amount of money in bank and you are getting interest. You have invested in stock market and you are getting dividends, those kind of things, right? So this is the meaning of income. Great. Listen to this. This will help you. And this is called personal income. This is called personal income. This is called personal income. But this is not you are entitled to spend. Why am I not entitled to spend? Because you have to give tax on this. And when you give tax on this, then it is disposable income. Then it is disposable income. Now do whatever you want to do. Right? So there's personal income and then there's disposable income. What is the personal income? Personal income is the money that you earn or the money that you receive. Earned by actively working or received by bank and other sources, rental income, pension income, those kind of things. Dividend yields, those kind of things. But you have to give tax to government as well. Once you give tax and then the income that you receive, that is disposable. Do what you want to do with this income. And this income is equals to savings plus expenditure. And this is what savings plus expenditure is. But in aptitude, whenever you see this word savings plus expenditure, they by default talk about this. They are not concerned about personal income tax and all these things. They are not concerned about this. Was it clear, everybody? Although this was not required here, but just to give you a holistic view, what is the meaning of this word expenditure? What is the meaning of this word income? I have given this example. I'm sorry. So, and this is what equals to savings plus expenditure, right? Is it fine, everybody? Is it clear to all? We can have a discussion on this, but that is not required. If you want, we can have a discussion. But then there is GDP, gross domestic product, GNP, gross national product, NNP, net national product. And in India now we measure GVA, gross value added. Then there are many different things, right? But that is not required. I just wanted to be very clear with this. So even in aptitude, if you come across this word disposable income, that's fine. If you come across income, this is what it means. Income is savings plus expenditure. Disposable income means same. In aptitude, this is what they mean, right? Let's come back to this. So now let's come back to this. What is not written over here, that is income is equals to savings plus expenditure. This is what was not given anywhere in the question. What they have told, that expenditure and savings are in the ratio 3:2. Okay. If this is the case, then income must be equals to 5K. This is a very good point. Is it clear to each and every one of you? Is it fine, guys? Now I have written 5K. Is it clear to each and every one? Yes, yes. Shrikant Ji, absolutely. Right? Is it fine, everybody? Right? Great. So, right? So this is 5K. Oh, sorry. Now let's come back to this point. What point? Now let's come to this point that the income is increased by 10%. So this is the new income. So this is increased by 10%. Let us see this. This is the older income, and because this is increased by 10%, can I write it like this? 1.1. Can I write it like this? 1.1 into E. So it means that the new income is 1.1 into 5K. 5.5K. So we have been told that there is a lady Meera, her expenditure and saving ratio is 3:2. Then we have concluded that, okay, fine, if the ratio is 3:2, it means expenditure is 3K, savings is equals to 2K. Fine, we've got it. And after this, we come to know that it means the income is equals to 5K. That's fine. We have it. This was not given. This we actually concluded. What we were told that the new income is 10% more than the previous income. And next statement, if the new expenditure, this lady increased her expenditure, okay, by what percentage? If this lady increased her expenditure by 12%, so her new expenditure would be this, the older expenditure, and 12%, 1.12. Okay. Now we have understood this. What is the expenditure? 3K. Yes. So this is 3.36K. Is it fine, everybody? What we have been told in this particular question, there is a lady called Meera. Her expenditure and savings are in the ratio 3:2. By this statement, what we have concluded, just by this statement, what is that we have concluded? When we are saying that the expenditure and savings are in the ratio 3:2, expenditure is equals to 3K and savings is equals to 2K. Expenditure is equals to 3K and savings is equals to 2K. It means that the income is equals to 5K. It means that the income is equals to 5K, right? It means the new income would be equals to this. New income is because it has been told that the new income increased by 10% and she increased her expenditure by 12%. So the new expenditure is this. Even before asking what they have asked, let me tell you one single thing. Do remember in this topic, especially in your exam, not in CAT. CAT, there are different level of questions, but in your exam, in percentage, this is what they precisely ask. What is that? Percentage change. Very basic point. And do remember this, what I'm about to say. Percentage change is final value minus initial value upon initial value into 100%. Right? Sir, what is the meaning of this final value, initial value? Let us suppose you had 100 rupees, your dad gave you 20 more rupees. Your father gave you 20 rupees, now you've got 120 rupees. If this is the case, so the final value is this 120 rupees, initial value is 100, and then the initial value was 100, and thus it means that from earlier, with respect to this amount, when you had 100 rupees, the amount of money grew by 20%. Keep listening, right? Percentage change. So percentage change is final value minus initial value upon initial value into 100. First thing, this is the important part. Second important part, I have written percentage change. Always remember that change is a neutral word. This can be positive, this can be negative. Always remember that percentage is change is the neutral word. Sir, can you elaborate this particular point? Yes. If the options are given plus 30% and minus 40%, and if someone asks us what is the highest percentage increment, this is absolutely correct. But if we are asked what is the highest percentage change, this is the correct answer. And this is not only in this particular question. These kind of question has already been asked in your exam. Do remember this. Change is a neutral word. When you are talking about percentage increment, we are talking about positive percentage. When we are talking about percentage change, then that is a neutral word. Is it clear to each and every one of you? Is it clear to each and every one of you? Great. Yes, I am about to ask this. Yes, Shrikant, absolutely. Is it fine, everybody? And you won't believe, to one of my students in one of the college interviews, they have asked, what is the difference between growth and development? This is what they have asked. This was the question which was asked at the time of interview. Do you know the difference between growth and development? When we use the word growth, then we are talking in terms of percentage. Growth is a quantitative phenomena. Let us suppose the GDP of your country. Sir, what is the meaning of GDP? GDP is the amount of money a country makes in simple terms. GDP, gross domestic product. I used to live in Chhattisgarh, central India. I used to live in Chhattisgarh, export minus import. That's it. That's it. ICG X minus Z. I used to live in Chhattisgarh, export minus import. I is investment, C is consumption, G is government spending, export and import. That's it. In simple terms, why I'm telling you guys all these things, because in the year 2019, they have given a very basic percentage change question, but the kind of terms they have used, GDP, FD, you guys are not aware of this. This is the hardcore MBA terms. GDP, gross domestic product, FD, fiscal deficit, these are hardcore banking this terms, MBA terms. Just to give you an idea so that I can able to connect this to that particular question. Is it clear to each and every one of you? Is it clear to each and every one of you? I will take topic log, don't worry. Right? Yes. So in one of the interviews to one of my students, the college, in a college, they have asked what is the difference between growth and development. Growth is a quantitative phenomena. Earlier you had 100 rupees, today you've got 120 rupees. There's a clear-cut growth of 20%. This. On the contrary, what is development? When you use the word development, it means quality of life. So it's a qualitative phenomena, it's a quantitative phenomena. In your country, do you have proper schools, colleges, sanitation facilities, drinking water facilities, medical facilities? And that is how you become a developed nation. And how do you measure whether a country is developed, developing or underdeveloped? There is a program, United Nations program, UNDP. There we measure Human Development Index, HDI. Right? We measure HDI. Just to a few of the inquisitive students, go and find, not right now, but later on, what is the HDI of India? Then you can able to understand. So there's a program of United Nations called United Nations, right? United Nations. Earlier there was League of Nations. That is not required right now. Earlier there was League of Nations. Then after Second World War, this organization was built. The sole idea was, if any war, just like the Second World War, will take place in the future, already because of the Second World War, the entire world was battered with battles. If any more war will take place in the near future, this world will cease to exist. And that is why these kind of organizations, United Nations organizations, WHO, WTO, all these, and then World Bank, IMF, then there are many different bodies to World Bank actually. IDA, the first one started like IDA. The first one was actually IBRD, International Banking Reconstruction and Development, and then International Development Association, IDA, IAE, International Atomic Energy, and these kind of bodies actually came into picture. Then UNDP, United Nations Development Program, right? Under this program, we measure, where is HDI? Yeah. Under this program, we measure HDI, Human Development Index. Just to give you a holistic view, that's it. I need this information. Later on, we'll talk about this. Not the entire information, but just this one. Because I'll be taking graph as well, right? So in graph, this. As I told you, like, don't get confused with the kind of data interpretation question comes in CAT. No. In CAT, there is one single section which is dedicated to graph and reasoning. The level of difficulty is extremely different in GATE and CAT. In GATE, you've got only 10 questions, 5 to 6 questions from quant and 4 to 5 questions from verbal. And over there, you can expect one question from this graph. So the graph will be extremely subdued, extremely diluted graph, very basic graph, and percentage change they're going to ask you guys. Is it fine, everybody? Are we getting this idea? What kind of paper you can expect? Are we getting this idea? Yeah, Shrikant, I will. Once you guys are done with your written, right? So before your interview, I will come up and I'll let you know, guys, like what are the books you can read, and just to get the knack of this world, right? Just to get the knack of and in the month of February, I'll be bringing current affairs on FT Express, so that will help, right? Coming back to this year, I want two things. First, I want you guys to solve for two things. What is that? Let me take this color. First thing, I want you people to let me know this. New savings right? And percentage change in savings. Go ahead. What is the new savings? We know that income is equals to savings plus expenditure. Similarly, new income would be equals to new savings plus new expenditure. And therefore, new savings would be new income. What is that? 5.5. I am running short of space, so I am directly subtracting it. 5.5 minus 3.36. What does that mean? 2.14K. And what is the percentage change from 2K to 2.14K? I need some space. What is the percentage change, guys? Is something from 2.14 to 2.14K. This is a clear-cut 7% increment. Is it fine to each and every one of you? We have discussed quite a few things in this particular question. Is it clear to each and every one of you? Sudhir Kumar Giri, How to Create a Mind. I have not read this book. If you are saying that it's a good book, I'll read that. Thank you very much. Is it also for civil? Yes. Yeah, in GATE, aptitude is common. Like in all the branches, aptitude is there. Right? I will cover spatial. I told you I'll cover spatial. Don't worry. I'll take one session on spatial. I'll take right at the end, I'll take one session on spatial. Is it fine? Great. So I think you have understood every single piece of information over here. Shall we proceed further? Is it clear, guys? Is it clear to each and every one of you? Is it clear to each and every one of you? Yes. Harsh has said that India's HDI, Human Development Index, value for 2019 is 0.645. And now when you read that, what is the meaning of that? It means this is average, this is moderate HDI, right? And that is why we are a developing nation. So I think all of you have got the answer. Shall we proceed further? Is it clear? Yes. Let's move on. There was a question which was asked in the year 2019. Who made the paper in the year IIT Madras. IIT Madras had made the paper in the year 2019. Now let's see what they have asked. In the year 2019, IIT Madras have... Anybody from Chennai? Anyone from Chennai? Anybody from Madras? Sir, why last night verbal and reasoning lecture is deleted from last? No, it is there. It is there, Suman. It is there. Why will we delete it? There's no point deleting the lecture. Right? Right. Anybody from Chennai? Yes. There are people from Chennai. Okay, great. So how is the water crisis problem in Chennai? The problem, there was a huge problem, right? This was a huge problem. Last year, at the time of summers, it was a huge problem. But unfortunately, Corona has surpassed every single problem, right? So right now, any of the problem which is lesser, any of the problem which is less than, which has got a lesser magnitude than Corona, is right now is not our concern. But Chennai is unfortunately going through a huge problem, and that is the water crisis. That needs to be sorted as soon as possible. Otherwise, the water deficit problem will continue. The rapid urbanization is one of the prime reasons of this. Rapid urbanization, not just in Chennai, but in the near future, you'll see the same problem in Bangalore, Hyderabad, it will take time, Mumbai, Delhi, Noida, Gurgaon, and then Hyderabad. Because this is the extreme migration is taking place to these cities. And we are actually pressurizing these cities to wait to very high extent. The resources are getting exploited. That is the main concern. Let's come back to this. So the question which came in the year 2019, the paper made by IIT Madras, in that paper it has been told that the fiscal deficit, what is that? In simple terms, very simple terms. See, when you talk about policies, I'm not here to talk about polity. I'm just letting you know so that you can able to understand the question, what the question is. See, mainly in a very raw, crude form, in a very simple form, there are mainly two different kind of policies, right? The first one is called monetary policy. The first is called monetary policy, which RBI takes care of, Reserve Bank of India takes care of. These days, in layman's language, it is absolutely fine. These days, actually, there is MPC. There is something called MPC, called Monetary Policy Committee. But monetary, so if you want, you can match them. M for monetary, N for Monetary Policy Committee, right? And then there is something called fiscal policy, which finance minister takes place, which finance minister takes care of. So I think you will remember this now. F for finance minister, F for fiscal policy. The basic idea in very raw form of this policy is to have check on interest rate. Actually, to have check on inflation via the tool is interest rate. The arrow is interest rate, right? That is what the mandate of RBI is. A clear-cut mandate has been given to RBI that the country's inflation must be within this 4% plus minus 2%. It is called zero, lower tolerance and upper tolerance. That's not required. Just letting you know this, that you have to keep an eye on inflation. That is what RBI's mandate is, right? On the contrary, when you talk about fiscal policy, when you talk about finance minister, the mandate comes around this. That say you have to take care of growth. So fiscal policy is about growth, but at the same time, you have to be inclusive. That is, every sect of the society must grow. Otherwise, this will lead to high income disparity, and by this way, the society won't be sustainable. That won't be a sustainable model. And that is what you see in inclusiveness. Sabka saath, sabka vikas. That is what inclusiveness is. The inclusiveness in it means this, that the government should, the finance minister should, the fiscal policy should make sure that every sector of the society must grow. And finally, the last point is, after growth inclusive, the last point is, growth is fine, inclusiveness is fine, but at the same time, for example, if for example the next person, you want to change his status, right? You want to change his status. How can you do that? You can give him 100 rupees so that this guy can use that 100 rupees and can make 110 rupees, 150 and 200 rupees. This is the way we change the status of an individual. But if this guy took 100 rupees and spent it, and once again he can come back to the very same state, that is totally up to him. It means that the deficit, the debt what you take must be under some limit, and that is what fiscal deficit is. Fiscal deficit, in a very raw form, I have told you, this is what fiscal deficit is. Fiscal, the meaning of this word fiscal is discipline. Discipline, then why there is deficit in discipline? How can be a deficit in discipline when the amount of revenue, the amount of money you are making is less and what you are expending is high? Then you have to take loan, and that is how FD comes into picture. Fiscal deficit comes in. Is it fine, everybody? We can talk about this for a while, but that is not required. We can talk about CAD, CAT, current account deficit, then BOP, balance of payment and balance of trade, but that is not required right now. Is it fine, everybody? I just wanted to give you a very basic idea of what this is. Is it clear? Is it clear to each and every one of you? Is it fine, everybody? Right. I will share. Don't worry. Today I will share that. It is there in Telegram. Actually, I have shared the book list long back, but I will share it once again. Is it fine? Now let's see. So now let's see the question that IIT Madras has given in the year 2019. This is what they said. They said fiscal deficit. I am writing it as FD. The fiscal deficit was 4% of GDP. 4% of GDP. GDP in simple language is gross domestic product. Forget about this. The amount of money your country make. As simple as this, right? In simple language, GDP is the amount of money your country make. That's it, in simple language. So in this particular question, they have said this. In the year 2015, it has been found that fiscal deficit is 4% of GDP. Great. Whereas in the year 2016, it has been found that This increased to 6%. It has been found that in this particular question they have told that the fiscal deficit is 4% of GDP in the year 2015, and in the year 2016 it has increased to 5%. And not just this, the GDP in the year 2015, and this is the year 2016. So the GDP itself from the year 2015-2016 actually increased by 10%. Fine. So what is that they have asked? The percentage increase in fiscal deficit. Now listen to this. It's a very simple question. But if you ask me, genuinely if you ask me, I personally like this question. I came on YouTube and discussed this question on the very same day when this paper took place. After the paper, of course. I said this question is double star question. Why? You know why? Because you're giving this kind of question to technical aspirants. And then you are expecting fiscal deficit and GDP. That is some question, man. Although it's a very flat question, but the kind of wordings it has. Let us suppose GDP in the year 2015 is 100. That's it. So when it increased by 10% in the year 2016, it would be 110. That's it. Fabulous. When you are saying that GDP in the year 2015 is 100, fiscal deficit is 4% of that. It means fiscal deficit in the year 2015 would be 4. That's great. Very simple. Very, very simple. In the year 2016, it was 110. We know that. This is from here, we know this. And we have been told that the fiscal deficit, not 6%, 5%. I have written 6%. This is 5%. I wanted to give 6%. Your IIT Madras has given 5%. And in the year 2016, it was 5%. 5% of what? 5% of this value. It means 5.5. The question they wanted to give was, there is something called fiscal deficit. Its value is 4. And then it increased to 5.5. So there is something which increased from 4 to 5.5. What is the percentage increment? This is what they wanted to ask. But the kind of language they have used, it was very beautiful. I'm repeating the entire question once again. Meanwhile, what you guys can do, you can tell me the percentage increment over here. This is what they have asked. In the year 2019, this is what they have asked. I'm repeating the entire question. Meanwhile, you can tell me the percentage increment. It has been found that in the year 2015, okay, the fiscal deficit was 4% of GDP. In the year 2016, the fiscal deficit is 5% of the GDP. And GDP itself increased by 10%. Very first point. When you are saying that the GDP increased by 10%, what do you mean? If in the year 2015, if it is 100, sir, why you are always taking 100? Can we take 50? You can take 37. You can take 137.3978, but you have to solve it, right? I won't be solving those questions. Yeah, we are taking 100 just to dilute it, just to make things easier. If you want, you can do anything, man. If you want, you can take 37 root 3. If you want, you can take 37 7th root of 3. That is absolutely fine. That's up to you, right? So you can take whatever you want. That's not a problem. The point is, we want to make things easier. We want some breathing space, right? So what you've done, we have taken GDP of 2015 as 100. Is it clear, everybody? This is what we have done. And then when we are saying that the GDP increased by 10%, this is what we mean. This was the first step. Is everybody clear with the first step? Is everybody clear with the very first step? Great. Yeah. The answers are absolutely covered. Fiscal terms and details and separate. Sir, will you cover? Yes. I will. Anyways, any which ways, I'm going to cover topics from economics on FT Express. So don't worry about it. Anonymous. Right? So the GDP, let us suppose the GDP in the year 2015 was 100. It increased by 10%. It means the GDP in the year 2016 is 110. After this, what you did, sir? I came to this place. Which place? This place. Second point. I said if the fiscal deficit is 10% of GDP, so GDP was 100, 4%, not 10%, I'm sorry, 4%. 4% of 100 would be 4. So the fiscal deficit in the year 2015 was 4. And in the year 2016, the GDP was 110. If the fiscal deficit was 5% of this, it means it was 5.5. So basically what they want to ask, if fiscal deficit, whatever that is, increase from 4 to 5.5, what is the percentage increment? Now is it clear to each and every one of you? Now you can tell me the answer. Yes, absolutely correct. So the difference, final value minus initial value, so this is 1.5 divided by 4 into this, that is 37.50 percentage increment. Is it clear to each and every one of you? Is it fine, everybody? Sir, why you are not speaking in Hindi? So that all of you can understand. If I speak in Hindi, then only a few can understand. If I speak in English, I believe all of you can understand. Isn't it? Is it fine? It might be possible the quality of English is not that good, but still I can able to communicate. That is what I know, right? Is it fine? Fine? Probably the quality of, don't that much be concerned about the quality of English, that's fine. Right? That is the only reason here. What else can be the reason? Great. So I think we have understood till now. Have you understood every single thing, whatever we've discussed till now? Have you guys understood every single piece of information, whatever we have discussed till now? Let's take a very beautiful point. Right? We have got some time left with us, so we can take a very beautiful point, right? Listen to this very, very carefully. Is everybody ready? Yes, we are ready. Now listen to this. Yeah. You know what Mr. Jim Rohn once said? The book you haven't read won't help you. Oh. Who says this kind of statement, man? The book you haven't read won't help you. Earlier, we used to say, unawareness is a bliss. It might be possible this was true. But in this information age, unawareness can never be bliss. We should not be this oblivious to live in a bubble, in a shell, and to believe that it is fine if I'm unaware. It is not fine. You can, although there's so much noise, choose to ignore the unwanted stuff. Sir, why should I choose to ignore? If you don't ignore the unwanted stuff, if you don't say no, if you keep on saying yes to every single piece of information, then when will you focus on the most important project of your life, and that is you yourself? I want people to write in the comment box, I am the hero of my life. Sir, who is a hero? The hero is the one who is not defined by failure. A hero is the one who is not defined by success. A hero is the one who is defined by fight and resilience. Decide yourself, from today onwards, I will fight whatever it takes. Irrespective of the fact whether I have got the audacity, the courage or not, I will fight till the very end. You know what is required to fight? The very first thing which is required is, we should stop bamboozling ourselves. We should stop disguising ourselves. Even if you are broke, accept you are broke. Face the mirror, even if you are broke, accept that you are broke, and then get ready for the fight. For things to change, for life to change, the two things must be very clear. Where you are right now, we need to come out of the comfort zone for things we want to achieve. So we need to understand what is my inevitable reality of life, and second thing, what is that I want. Probably I've told you in the past as well, another favorite author of mine is Mr. Jim Collins. He has written some fantastic books, especially How the Mighty Fall, Good to Great, Great by Choice, Built to Last. Fantastic. He has categorically written one statement: greatness is a matter of choice. After all, each one of us, you, I, each one of us, we are our choices. Mr. Stephen Covey once said that we are not human being on a spiritual journey. We are the spiritual being on human journey. हम इंसान नहीं है जो अध्यात्म की खोज में, हम अध्यात्म ही हैं जिनका एक जन्म इंसान का है. These words have got infinite power. They can hit you. Mr. Stephen Covey once said that I am the outcome of all those habits which I have inculcated in the past, and I will be outcome of all those habits which I am inculcating right now. The question to you is, what is that you are inculcating right now? What is that you are doing day in and day out? That will become your habit, and that will determine what you will become in the near future. In French, there's a quote: first you make a habit and then your habits make you. What a beautiful line. And on the similar line, there's a book called Atomic Habits. Unbelievable book. Just to finish it off, and then we'll get back to this. In his book, Good to Great, Mr. Jim Collins said, why I write like Mr. Collins and not just I. If you don't know Mr. Jim Collins, let me tell you the power and the potential of this guy. This guy charges hundreds of, almost 2,000 rupees per minute. Almost 2,000 rupees per minute to speak. This is the level, this is the stature of this guy. And the people who are attending these seminars, they are not school kids or college kids. They are out and out working professionals who are here to fight in the marketplace. These are those people who fight tooth and nail in the marketplace. These are those guys who know how to make profit in the marketplace. These are those guys who have learned how to do business till they attend those seminars. Just think of this, the quality of literature this guy produces. It's unbelievable, man, unmatchable. I specifically want, the day you enter IIT, decide, I'm going to read a few books. How the Mighty Fall, Good to Great, Great by Choice, Built to Last, and The Blue Ocean Strategy. Unbelievable book. Unbelievable book. What a book, man. This is what he has written. There are good companies and then there are great companies. Why I'm telling you this about the good companies and great companies? Good companies, great companies. Good students, great students. Good societies, great societies. Good countries, great countries. And then he has mentioned a theta over here. So we can take the same philosophy. And he said this theta is not just discipline. He said not just discipline. Discipline is fine. He said fanatic discipline. Whoa, what a word. What is fanaticism? Junoon. Fanaticism, eccentricity. Eccentricity is fanaticism. He said fanatic discipline. And you know, right at the bottom, what this guy has written? He has written, good is the enemy of great. In, good is the enemy of great, and in Latin, the very same thing is written as memento mori. Death is inevitable. Don't get too complacent that I'm here to stay. Nobody in this world is here to stay. We are living in a flash of time and we believe as if we're here to stay. Nobody's here to stay, irrespective of the fact who you are and from where you are. Whatever time you have, give the most of your energy to it. Each one of us, we are same. What creates the difference is the energy we possess. I want you people to write in the comment box, it is the energy that creates all the difference. I want you people to write in the comment box, it is the energy that creates all the difference. Otherwise, all of us are absolutely same. There's no difference. What is the difference between you, me, and each one of us? There's no difference. It is the energy. There are people who have got phenomenal zest and zeal to life. They exude with exuberance in life. They want to achieve every single bloody milestone in life. They want to live their life to fullest. And then there are people who succumb to pressure. They want things to be ideal. Don't you think it's unfair? It is unfair. Every time when you are taking rest, every time when you are saying that probably I should not do this kind of hard work, there is someone who's putting his heart out, and that guy is deserving. Every time whenever we are relaxing, then there is someone who's putting everything, not just his sweat, his blood to his work. And those people are really deserving. Ultimately, things get to those people who are genuinely deserving. I hope and I believe one day will each one of us, whosoever is here, each one of us will become deserving. That is the greatest value of human life, to become deserving. I think we should continue this. Is it fine, everybody? Shall we continue this? Yes. Great. Let's take a very beautiful example. What is the example? Let's take a very beautiful example, very beautiful point. Listen to this. There is something called E equal to PC. Listen to this. E equals to PC. Sir, what is E? E is expenditure. I'll connect 5 different points to this point. 5 points. I'll connect 5 points to this thing, right? What is E? E is expenditure. What is P? P is price. And what is C? C is consumption. E is expenditure, P is price, C is consumption. Fine. Let us suppose, let's take someone's, let's say Vipin. Let's say Vipin Kaushal is there. Let's say Vipin's dad gave him 1000 rupees per month. Right? So let us suppose Vipin gets 1000 rupees per month from his dad for the fuel. And just for the ease of calculation, let us suppose price of the fuel is 100 rupees per liter. And thus Vipin consume 10 liter of fuel every month. Things were absolutely fine. Things were absolutely fine. So the expenditure, Vipin was consuming 1000, Vipin was expending 1000 rupees per month, and the price of fuel, just any which ways, we've already consumed half of the world fuel, right? Half of the petroleum reserves. So in the next, before 2100, there will no oil and all petroleum, right? So very soon, probably now you will never get to see this price. That's what I believe. The biggest reason is US. Earlier US was the biggest importer of crude oil, and now it is one of the biggest producer. That is the shale has played the game, right? The game changer was shale. Okay, fine, let's come back to this. And he is consuming 10 liter of fuel every month. That's fine. That is absolutely fine. Now what happened? Let us suppose the price of the fuel is increased and it actually went up to 200. So Vipin went to his dad and he said, Papa, you are giving me 1000 rupees per month because the price of the fuel is increased by 100 rupees. So now it is 200 rupees. I want more money. Vipin's dad closed the door and then thapa. And then Vipin said, okay dad, there is no need of violence. I understood this. I have totally understood that you won't be giving me any single penny. So let me decrease my consumption. So now Vipin consume 5 liter petrol every month, right? So the same amount of expenditure. Then the stroke of luck. Then in the near future, the price of fuel decreased to 50 rupees per liter. Vipin was very happy and he went to his dad. He said, Papa, the fuel price is now 50 rupees per liter. Now I can literally save half of the amount. His father again closed the door and he said, thapa again. His dad said to him, you are an engineer, I have done engineering, right? Engineers don't save money, get lost and roam around. Vipin said, okay, fine. So now this guy, there's an extreme pressure. Now this is absolutely men versus wild situation. And now he consumes 20 liter of fuel because the expenditure must be same. Right? So this is what Vipin does. So I think we have understood that what is that we are about to discuss. This is what we are about to, I want a good color, this is what we are about to discuss. What is that we are about to discuss? Listen, this is very important, right? When the expenditure remains constant, if price of the fuel is increased, the consumption must be decreased. And if price of the fuel is decreased, the consumption must be increased. Fine. So I'll be explaining this and we will associate 5 points with this. So all in all, with this point, you can able to solve 5 types of question. That will be really helpful. So listen to this very, very carefully. I'll take 20, not more than 15-20 minutes. So listen to this very, very carefully. Don't miss this point. Great. I want people to remember one thing. The derivation is right now, it is not required. 5 days, after 7 days, you're going to have an exam. So derivation variation is not required. I want people to write a note absolutely clean and clear, absolutely categorically. I want you guys to write this. What is that you want us to write, sir? Oh, yeah. What is that you want us to write? First, we know E is equals to PC, right? Absolutely. So, if price of the fuel is increased by R percentage, this is the first case, the consumption must be reduced by R divided by 100 plus R into 100 percentage, such that the expenditure must remain constant. If price of the fuel is increased by R percentage, the consumption must reduce. Listen to this very, very carefully. In the next 15-20 minutes, we'll connect this to 4-5 different points. Don't miss these points. If price of the fuel is increased by R percentage, consumption must be reduced by R divided by 100 plus R percentage, such that the expenditure remains constant. And not just this, if the price of the fuel is reduced by R percentage, the consumption, I want a good color, this. The consumption must be increased by R divided by 100 minus R into 100 percentage. And this can be used vice versa. Right? To those people who have got a very good grip on mathematics, they can clearly understand that we are taking this as constant. That is, P is inversely proportional to C. What happens when something is inversely proportional? Hyperbola. And when there is no power, rectangular hyperbola. So graphically, I'm talking about all those cases where rectangular hyperbola is there. This is applicable, right? So if price of the fuel is increased by R percentage, the consumption must be reduced by this much percentage. And if price of the fuel is decreased by R percentage, we'll see the example, don't worry. If price of the fuel is decreased by R percentage, the consumption must be increased by this. All in all, I have written R divided by 100 plus minus R into 100 percentage. This is what I have written in this and in this case, right? Just a small funder to make you remember this. Although this is not that good, but still I think this will help you. When the price of the fuel is increased by R percentage, the consumption must be reduced. When it must be reduced, the denominator must be bigger. The denominator must be this. When you want to increase this, let's decrease the denominator. Just to make you remember, nothing like that, right? Just. So I want people to write this. And let's take an example. Listen to this. Let's take an example. This will help you. Okay. This will definitely help you. I want the people to write this absolutely crisply. So we know E is equals to PC. Is it visible? Yeah. And this is constant, right? This is price and this is consumption. This price and this is consumption. Right? Okay. First, second, third, and I'll give you one more. Okay, fine, let's suppose the price of the fuel is increased by 20%. I'll tell you guys 2 and then you have to solve 2 questions. And then what will happen to the consumption? Let's see this. If price of the fuel is increased by R percentage, 20%, then the consumption must be reduced by what? R divided by 100 plus R into 100 percentage. What is this 20? 20 divided by 100 plus 20 is 20 divided by 120. That is great. What is 20 divided by 120? 1 by 6. What is 1 by 6? 16.67%. So this must be decreased by 16.17%. Is it clear to each and every one of you? Is it fine, guys? Is it fine to each and every one of you? Is it clear? Is it clear to each and every one of you? Great. And similarly, if the price of the fuel is decreased by 10%, the consumption must be increased by what? R divided by 100 minus R into 100%. So 10 divided by 100 minus 10, that is 10 by 90. What is 10 by 90? Oh, sorry, 1 by 9. 10 by 90 is 1 by 9. And what is 1 by 9? 11.11%. Is it clear to each and every one of you? Is it fine, everybody? Is it clear to each and every one of you? Yes, absolutely. 11.11%. Nice, well done. So if price of the fuel is increased by 20%, the consumption must be reduced by this much percentage. That's fine. If price of the fuel is decreased by 10%, the consumption must be increased. The consumption must be increased. Is it clear to each and every one of you? Shall I give you 2 questions? Shall I give you guys 2 questions? Is it fine? Right. If, and we can use this vice versa, right? Let me use this way. If the consumption increased by 25%, then what will happen to price? If the consumption reduced by 20, no, not 20. If the consumption reduced by, you have Kelsey, right? 12.50%. Then what will happen to price? Go ahead. Find both the answers. Go ahead and find both the answers. Nice, well done. Great, nice, well done. Absolutely fine. If price of the fuel is if the consumption is increased by 25%, then the price must be reduced, of course, right? R divided by R plus 100 into 100%. So 25 divided by 25 plus 100, that is 25 divided by 125, 1 by 5, that is 20%. So this must be reduced by 20%. I think it is clear to each and every one of you. And in the last case, it should be R divided by 100 minus R into 100%. This must be increased by this. So the answer, I think the answer must be 14.2857%. Is it clear to each and every one of you? Is it clear to each and every one of you? It was decreased by 12.50, so this has to be increased. Is it fine, everybody? Is it clear to all? Yes, 14.2857, yes. Is it clear to each and every one of you? Is it fine? Yes, yes. So this was 20%, decreased by 20%, and this was increased by 14.28%. Let me tell you a small short trick here in this case. Okay, let's tell you a small trick. You have understood this? Let me tell you something more. Don't forget that you can always use this formula, right? You can always use this formula, that's not a problem. Let me tell you a small short trick to solve this. Listen to this. To solve using this trick, we need to solve this question in 3 steps. Like how? Listen to this. The first thing, if it is increased, I won't repeat this, right? Because I've already told you the formula, so that's fine, but just to let you know. If this is increased, this has to be decreased. This is the first point, right? 20%, the meaning of 20% is 1 by 5. This is the second point, right? A small trick. If you find it really worthy, you can jot this. If this is increased, this has to be decreased. First point. 20% is 1 by 5. Second point. The last point. Sir, what is the last point? Listen to this. This is 5. What is exactly below 5? 6. That is answer. 1 by 6. Check your answer. This is what we have written earlier. 16.61%. Sir, can you repeat this once again? Yes, I'll repeat this. Why? Same question. Let's take the other one. This was reduced and thus this has to increase. If this was decreased, this was increased. 10%. What is the meaning of 10%? 1 by 10. See the resultant. What do you want? The number which is above 10. 9. So that was the answer. 1 by 9. 11.11%. Is it clear, guys? Sir, can you repeat this once again? Yes, I'll repeat 2 more times. Here and there. Sir, after that, you and I, both of us, will leave this question. Okay? If this is increased, this has to be decreased. If this is 25%, it means this is 1 by 4. Below 4, just below 4, what is that? 5. And what is 1 by 5? 20%. That is the answer we've got. Is it clear to all of you? If this was decreased, this has to be increased. This is 12.50. What is that? 1 by 8. Exactly above 8. 7. 1 by 7. 14.2857. Is it clear to each and every one of you? Is it fine, guys? Is it clear to each and every one of you? Make it fast. Is it fine? Great. So you have understood this, right? I think you have understood every single piece of information. Right? Right. I think you have understood that. Sir, you know what? Yeah. Sir, your trick can be a flop show. When that trick can be a flop show? There is certain limitation to that, but when can it be a flop show? Sir, is it like intentionally you have taken 1 in the numerator? Yes, I have. Intentionally I have. Sir, what will going to happen if you take a random percentage? I have already told you the formula. You can use that. And if you remember correctly, I told you to write a note. Do you remember that? What were the percentages we've written over there? What were the percentages we have written over there? The percentages we have written were like this. I think I have told you 4%, right? I've told you 37.50%. Increased by 37.50%. Decreased by 62.50%. Increased by, what is that I told you? 87.50. Few minutes back I told you to write these percentages, right? Remember this? These are very, very, famous percentages. And 83.50%. 83.33, I'm sorry. 83.33%. Right? Now listen to this, because we are running short of time, just listen to this. We can always use the formula, that is for sure. What was the formula? It is increased, so this has to be decreased. So this is R divided by 100 plus R. So we can use this for sure. Now listen to the tricky part. This is what we can do. Listen to this. I have told you that these are the 4 most important fractional percentages. What is 37.50? 37.50 is 3 by 8. You want the answer of this? 3 plus 8, 11. This is the answer. That's it, that's the answer. It must be decreased by, we can always use this. I'm just letting you know how can you do this at a faster pace, right? Even once this session is over, see this video once again, what I've said, and then you can have a good grip on this. What is 1 by 11? 9.09%. So what is the answer? Overall, the answer is 27.27. Sir, if I don't want to do it like this, you can always use this formula. That is what I'm telling you. You can always this formula. 62.50. It means this has to be increased. So R divided by 100 minus R into 100%. Now what is this? 62.50 is basically 5 by 8. Great. You need to subtract this. So 5 divided by 8 minus 5, 3. When you have to add this, just add these 2 numbers for the denominator. Sir, you are saying that when there is plus, just write the numerator as such and add these 2 things. When there is minus, write this numerator as such and subtract this 2. Absolutely. So the answer would be 5 by 3. This is 166.67% increased by this. Is it fine, everybody? Isn't it a very good point? If you want, you can see this further. If this is increased, this has to be decreased. If this has to be decreased, this is R divided by 100 plus R into 100. We can always use this formula. Once again, I'm telling you this. What is 87.50? A few minutes back I told you 87 by 8. You want to decrease this. You want to add 7 divided by 7 plus 8. That's it. That is 7 divided by 15. What is 1 by 15? 1 by 15 is 6.67% into 7. 46.67% answer. The answer is 46.67%. It is decreased by this. Right? It's a nice point, huh? If it is decreased, this has to be increased by R divided by 100 minus R into 100%. What is this? This is 5 by 6. 5 by 6. So this would be 5 by 6 minus 5 and 6. That is 5 by 1. 500%. Is it clear to each and every one of you? Right? Is it clear to each and every one of you? These are some very good points, and I really want you guys to go through this video more than once if it is possible. It's a very, very good point, and not just in your GATE exam, but in many different exams, you will see these questions. And the most important part, here it goes. Whatever I have discussed so far, for E is equals to PC, expenditure is equals to, listen to this very, very carefully. Before winding up, I just need 2 to 3 minutes. Expenditure is equals to price into consumption. This is what we've discussed. Whatever formula and all we've discussed. Not just this is equally valid to distance is equals to speed into time. Okay. If the price of the fuel is increased by R percentage, the consumption must be decreased by R divided by 100 minus R, such that the expenditure remains constant. Similarly, if we have been told that distance is constant, this is speed, this is time. Absolutely same thing is valid. If speed of a car is increased by 37.50%, by what percentage time must be reduced such that the distance remains constant? Fantastic. If the time increased by 87.50%, by what percentage the speed must be reduced such that the distance remains constant? Absolutely valid. Is it clear, buddy? Is it clear to all? Third point. After distance is equals to speed into time, there is one more thing. Revenue is equals to price into sale. Put up a double star on this. Revenue is equals to price into sale. Put up a double star on this. If I write revenue over here, price here and sale here, exactly the same thing is valid. If price of a commodity is increased by 37.50%, by what percentage the sale must be reduced such that the revenue remains constant? Is it clear, buddy? Absolutely fine. Not just this. Take a rectangle into consideration. Area of the rectangle is length into breadth. Let's write this over here. Area, length and breadth. If breadth of a rectangle is increased by 87.50%, the length must be reduced by this much percentage such that the area remains constant. Is it clear to each and every one of you? Is it clear to each and every one of you? Is it fine, everybody? Is it fine, everybody? Is it clear to each and every one of you? And finally, right at the end, if we have talked about two different numbers, and if A is greater than B by R percentage, then by what percentage B is less than A? Same. R divided by 100 plus R into 100%. If A's salary is greater than B by R percentage, then by what percentage B's salary is less than A by this much percentage? Is it clear to each and every one of you? Is it clear to each and every one of you? Is it fine, everybody? Is it fine? So the last 15-20 minutes we have discussed quite a lot of stuff. So I think this is clear to each and every one of you. Is it fine, everybody? Yeah. Power is equals to volt into current. Right? Is it fine, everybody? Is it clear to all? Right? Absolutely perfect. Great. Absolutely fine. We'll take this point like profit loss, mixture allocation, CISI tomorrow. Don't worry. Right? Yeah, geometry I'll take. One of the video will go to live at 11. After 1 hour, one video on geometry, like what do you call this? Geometry mein triangle. I have discussed a very important concept. That video will be live on Apti Express at 11 in the morning, after 1 hour. Watch the video and do let me know you've liked the video or not, right? That video will be live at 11. You can let me know in the comment box, in that video's comment box. You can directly let me know you've liked the video or not. And other than that, you can let me know in the Telegram channel as well, right? So I believe Telegram channel is Saurabh Sir Official and Apti Express. These are the two. Saurabh Sir Official. And second is Apti Express. These are the two Telegram channels, right? I'll take time speed distance, don't worry. We are still left with 4 sessions. I'll take everything. I'll take everything, whatever is relevant to your 2021 paper. I'll take that. Right? Right. Right? Great. So this is the end of today's session. I want you people to write in the comment box, which I said a few minutes back. We are our choices. We are our choices. And if we are our choices, choose to be something awesome, something beyond nobody has imagined, something unbelievable. Decide yourself that I'll become something incredible so that I'll astound myself. Peace is where you are. But at the same time, we are our choices. It is good to be inspired, but it is better to be inspirational. So signing off, we'll meet at 10 in the evening, late in the evening, and we'll be discussing questions from verbal. Don't miss that session. I'll be discussing sentence completion, antonym, synonym, those kind of things. And mainly vocabulary, the words which are really important to your exam. Right? So see you guys. We'll meet in the evening. Bye-bye everybody. Take care. Jai Hind.